Hi there, in today's video I'll be sharing with you how to make Afrobeat drums from scratch in FL Studio with 3 Afrobeat drum patterns as examples. And with that being said guys, let's get started. So one of the very first essential things you need in creating Afrobeat drums is good sounds, and I've ensured to leave a link to a sample pack in the description that you guys can make use of, which is the same sample pack I'll be making use of in this video. So the name of the sample pack is called Made in Lagos, and it has lots of amazing sound for just $1. So the very first drum pattern we'll be looking at is called Afroswing, and to create this type of Afrobeat drums you can either start from anywhere, but in this case I'll start with the rim shot sound from the Made in Lagos sample pack. Yes, I think I like this. I'm going to drag it in. So what I'll be doing is to pick some sound that best suits this kind of drum pattern. I've selected the rim shot already. Next up I'll select a kick. Okay, so next up I'll need to get some hi-hat sound, which is not included in the Made in Lagos pack, but you will also get access to this project file, so that won't be a problem. Next up, I'm going to set the tempo to something not too fast, something between 95 to 100, but in this case let me try 100. So what I would want to get first is my bounce. For every other person it might be different, but in my case I like to get my bounce with the rim shot. So I just turn on the metronome. After getting that bounce, I want to duplicate it in my piano roll, and you can do that by just Ctrl A to select that section and then Ctrl B to duplicate it. I have this. I can turn off my metronome at this point though. After getting this bounce, I feel like the next thing for me is the kick, because okay, I've gotten the bounce, but I still need to complement what I already have for the rim shot. And in some cases you might want to use your kick in the playlist like this, instead of manually arranging it in the channel rack. It depends on your preference. I just feel like I should arrange it in the playlist so I can alternate the kick at some point. So let's go guys. I think it's too loud. Drop it a bit. So I can have that same kick pattern and then alternate it, duplicate it first. Yeah. So like I mentioned guys, you can decide to arrange your sounds in the playlist depending on your preference. For this drum pattern, I feel like arranging my kick in the playlist makes more sense, so that I am able to alternate it at different points if I need to. So after arranging the kick, we have this. So next up guys, the beat is taking shape already. What I would like to do next is to add in the hi-hat I picked earlier on, just to create a bounce. So I'm just going to play around in the channel rack and see what best fits into this. I can take it a step further by going into the piano roll so as to have the flexibility to alternate the hi-hat. Having gotten this bounce, I can duplicate it to the next bar. So another amazing thing you can do is to add hi-hat rolls here and there, just to solidify that bounce. And to create an hi-hat roll, all you need to do is select a MIDI note and then press Alt U, and what that does is to bring in a chopper, so that way you can decide to accept if that's what suits your preference. In this case it suits my preference, so I'll just accept it. And having done that, you want to also adjust the velocity, yeah, so that it sounds more human. Yeah, so I love this hi-hat groove. What I would do next is to also duplicate it to the next bar. So guys, our beat is taking shape already, but at this point I feel we should add an open hi-hat, just so as to complement the closed hi-hat that we have. So I'm going to just look for a befitting open hi-hat. Yeah, so I can also arrange that in the playlist. And after doing the open hi-hat, this is what we have. To even take this a step further, guys, I can decide to add a shaker loop. So what I'm going to do next is to go into the Made in Lagos sample pack and go through some of the shaker loops there and see the one that best fits what we have here already. So I feel like this Afrobeat shaker loop before can work, so I'm going to drag it in, and let's see how it sounds. So guys, I can even decide to take it another step further by adding in some chords and see if it really works with what we have here already. Alright, so guys, that is Afroswing right there, or UK Afrobeat as some people call it. So next up, guys, we're moving to the next drum pattern on our list, which is Afro Dancehall. And for this drum pattern, guys, just as the name implies, it is quite very simple. Afro Dancehall, which implies that we are using Afrobeat elements with dancehall rhythm. And with that being said, guys, let me show you how that works in FL Studio. So like I like to do, I'll pick a rim shot just to get my bounce. In this case, I feel like the first rim shot can still work. So basically, this is how a dancehall vibe goes. And like I mentioned, we are using Afrobeat elements with a dancehall rhythm. So in this case, this is more like an Afrobeat rim shot, and we are infusing it with a dancehall rhythm. Having done this, guys, I want to duplicate it to the next bars. Next up, what I would like to do is just add in my kick. And to do this for an Afro dancehall vibe, I can just right click on the kick sound and select fill each four step, and I'm going to have this. Yeah, so this is pretty much what an Afro dancehall looks like, and you can hear drum patterns like this in Rema Calm Down song, Burna Boy Roller Coaster song, and many Afrobeat hit songs. Yeah, so guys, at this point you can decide to add in more percussion sound, but this is basically what the vibes is like. And in this case, I feel like I should add little bit of percussions here and there. And I'm also going to head back into the Made in Lagos sample pack to look for some good percussion sounds. So let's try this too. Yeah, I love that. Yeah, so let's try this too. Adding percussions here and there really makes the beat stand out. Just instead of having it in its raw form, it even gives more life to the beat. So next up, guys, the last drum pattern we'll be looking at is the generic Afrobeat drum pattern, which can be alternated in many different ways, and we will look into that shortly. Like I would always do, I'll just still select another rim shot sound just to get my groove. Yeah, so I think I love this rim shot sound. And the generic Afrobeat bounce for the rim shot is essentially like this. Yeah, so that is what Afrobeat is centered around, and this same bounce can be alternated to be something like this. Yeah, I just changed the positioning of the rim shot sound. But let's stick to the generic Afrobeat drum pattern, and we'll have something like this. What I would love to do next is to duplicate these into different bars, and like I mentioned, Ctrl A to highlight it, then Ctrl B to duplicate. Next up, like I've been doing in this video, I would like to add in my kick. In this case, I would like to arrange my kick in the playlist, and I've dragged it out already, so I can have something like. Yeah, so all of these are determined by the kind of vibes you're going for and your preference. In this case, I'm just playing around. I really don't have anything in mind. I don't want to go with the regular constant kick, so instead of having something like, which works really, I just feel we can alternate it, so we can have. Yeah, something really different from the regular constant kick. So having arranged this, I can duplicate it just to have it in the other bar. Yeah, just being creative basically. So straight away, guys, I'm just going to drop in a shaker loop to this and get the vibes going, because pretty much what shaker loop does to Afrobeat is to give it that rhythm. When they talk about Afrobeat music, they talk about the rhythm, the groove that you get from it. So in this case, I'm going to drop in a shaker loop, which is the first shaker loop in the Made in Lagos sample pack, and it's going to sound like this. So at this point, guys, I feel like I should add in some percussion elements depending on your preference though, but in my own case, I feel like I still need to add in more percussion sounds. So I'm just going to do that by dragging some sounds into the channel rack. So as you guys can see, that really complemented what we have already, you know, just that conga sound. I can also go a step further by adding another conga sound. So let's try it out. Yes, I love these percussion sounds. Yeah, so there's really no limitation to how well you can, you know, spice up your drum loop by adding in some percussion elements, you know, shaker loops, some snares if possible. You know, there are no limitation to your creativity when making your drums in Afrobeat. Yeah, so guys, this is what we have after we have added, you know, a shaker loop, some percussion elements, and the kick, and also the rim shot. Alright, so guys, that will be all for this video. I hope you are able to, you know, learn one or two things from the whole drum creation process from scratch, and I will ensure to leave the download link to the project file in the description so that you guys can also have access to it and, you know, further explore and make more drums by yourself. If you find value in this video, kindly hit that like button, and if you're new to this channel, consider subscribing to the channel for subsequent updates from this channel. See you guys in the next one. Peace out.